Hey, movie lovers! Dream Recaps here. Today I'm going to illustrate a drama film called The Platform. Spoiler alert, get your popcorn ready, relax, and enjoy. Goring awakens in a concrete cell with the number 48 on its wall in the Vertical Self-Management Center prison. He has nothing but a bed to sleep on, a sink, and a hole in the center of the room, which his cellmate Trimagasi refers to as the pit. There are hundreds of floors like theirs, each with two prisoners who use false identities assigned by management. Every day, food is lowered through a hole on a platform, and you have 2 minutes to eat as much as you can before it returns to a lower floor. The lower you are, the less likely you are to eat anything. Each month, prisoners are randomly moved and assigned to different floors. When Goring first sees the platform, he decides not to eat because he isn't hungry, and would rather leave food for the lower levels. Trimagasi spits on the table after eating as much as he can, knowing that the people above most likely do the same. Goring decides to save an apple for later, but the cell becomes extremely hot after the platform leaves. It turns out that keeping food is illegal, so Goring must get rid of the apple, or they will be roasted to death. This reminds Goring of the interview he had before entering the building, where he had to sign a paper accepting the fact that he wouldn't be able to leave until the agreed-upon period was up. Goring chose to bring a copy of Don Quixote with him because every prisoner is allowed to bring one item with them. Goring came here on his own accord and will stay for 6 months in exchange for an accredited diploma. When the platform arrives the next day, Goring refuses to eat again, and Trimagasi believes floor 48 is a waste of his time. Trimagasi tells Goring about his story, which began with a television commercial. He purchased an exceptional knife after seeing it on television, but only a few days later, they released a new ad promoting an improved knife. This enraged him to the point where he took the television and threw it out the window, killing a passerby. Trimagasi was given the option of a psychiatric hospital or the hole, and he chose the second option. He's been as low as 132, so he knows there are more floors than that because he can see them below. No food reaches the lower levels, and a month down there isn't that bad. The issue comes up when you get 2 lower levels in a row. Goring is terrified of this possibility and attempts to approach the people on the other floors to request that they ration their food, but he is ignored. Trimagasi responds by pissing into the lower floor. He also reveals that the item he chose to bring with him is the knife he purchased on television. Goring finally starts to eat the next time the platform passes by. Trimagasi says he sees a person from higher levels fall through the hole all the time, but no one does anything about it. Trimagasi tells Goring about all the floors he has visited, and mentions that they'll be together again next month. Goring realizes that when cellmates are shuffled, they are kept together, and he finally realizes Trimagasi ate his previous cellmate when he was on the lower floors. Miharu is sitting on the platform when it passes by again. Goring is concerned about her because he notices she is injured, but Trimagasi advises him to forget about her. Miharu visits the hole once a month to look for her missing child. She also kills every cellmate she meets in order to increase her chances of being paired with her child the following month. The guy they saw falling was most likely her victim. Trimagasi then explains that, unlike her, he has never killed anyone and has only eaten the bodies that have fallen on his floor. When the platform advances to the next level, the prisoners attempt to take advantage of Miharu. Goring begs them to leave her alone, but it's unnecessary because Miharu simply kills them and comes back to the platform. When the month is up, the inmates are put to sleep with gas and shuffled around. When Goring awakens, he is bound to his bed on floor 171. Trimagasi explains that he tied Goring up because Goring is younger and stronger than Trimagasi, and Trimagasi needs to protect himself. Screams can be heard from other floors, indicating that people are reacting to their new levels, and when the platform arrives, there isn't even a crumb left. Trimagasi announces that it is finally time for him to get some food after 8 days. Trimagasi ignores Goring's cries for mercy and uses his knife to extract some meat from Goring's thigh, but before he can eat it, the platform arrives, bringing Miharu with it. Miharu thinks about Goring's concern for her and leaps on Trimagasi, assaulting him with his own knife. She then releases Goring and gives him the knife so he can finish Trimagasi off. Goring then falls asleep and awakens to find himself on the bed. Miharu has wrapped his leg in a bedsheet and begun to eat Trimagasi. She brings Goring some meat, which he accepts after some hesitation, and she also brings him some water before leaving on the platform without saying anything. Trimagasi's body starts to rot, allowing Goreng to feed on worms as well. Goreng begins hallucinating as well, seeing Trimagasi's ghost judge him while he eats. Gas takes over the cell at the end of the month, and Goreng fantasizes about being with a woman again while Miharu watches. When he wakes up, he realizes the person licking him is a dog. Goreng's new cellmate is Imogiri, the woman who interviewed him when he volunteered to enter this prison. She chose to bring the dog with her, and they are now on level 33. Goreng recalls the interview day and Imogiri's creepy pauses between questions. Imogiri explains in this moment that she volunteered like Goreng and had no idea people died here. As far as she knows, there are 200 levels, and when Goreng explains that there isn't enough food for everyone here, Imogiri points out that the amount of food would be sufficient if people only ate what they needed. Something that stimulates an impulsive sense of solidarity is required, but Goreng excludes the idea. He wonders if the death of a child can bring a change, but Imogiri is convinced that company policy prohibits under 16s from working. Imogiri only eats what she needs, and after giving some to her dog, she starts preparing 2 rations of food. When the platform reaches the lower level, Imogiri attempts to convince the prisoners to eat the ration she set up and to prepare 2 more for the next level in order to pass on the message. As expected, she is ignored, and Goreng points out the fact that the administration does not want solidarity to occur. Imogiri is offended that he believes all administration is bad because she worked for them without complaint, but Goreng responds that being a previous employee gave her the option of picking her cellmate. Imogiri does not give up and continues to try to ration the food each day, but she is ignored by the lower levels. 2 weeks later, Goreng has had enough of her yelling and informs the people that if they do not obey Imogiri's instructions, he will relieve himself of the food every day and they will have to eat poop. The threat is effective, and the prisoners begin relaying messages to lower levels. Later, the platform collapses, leaving an unconscious Miharu on it. While the dog grabs some food, Goreng and Imogiri place her on a bed and care for her. When the platform goes away, the cell becomes extremely cold, and Goreng must chase the dog to recover the food he snatched before they are killed for violating the rules. Goreng gives Miharu the bed in the evening and goes to sleep on the floor. When he wakes up, the girls are fighting, and it turns out Miharu killed the dog to eat him. Miharu leaves on the platform the next day. Goreng tells Imogiri that Miharu is looking for her child, but Imogiri says that Miharu came by herself 10 months ago. She is an actress who didn't have any family and also chose to come on her own. She sent people down here without realizing how bad it was. Imogiri doesn't want to get out of bed on their last day on level 33, so Goreng tries to make her eat something because they might not have food tomorrow. After sleeping, Goreng wakes up on floor 202, which means Imogiri was wrong about there being more levels. This news was too much for Imogiri to handle, so she ended things with her bed sheets. Trimagasi's hallucination comes back at that very moment, asking if Goreng will eat his new friend. And this time, Imogiri and her dog are with him. They tell him he should eat her body. Goreng does his best to ignore them as they talk non-stop. He also does other things to pass the time. He eats book pages to trick his stomach, and he uses a broken plate to start counting the days on the wall. But eventually, Goreng's hunger gets the best of him, and he starts to eat Imogiri while Trimagasi shows him where to cut. Soon after, there is another shuffle, and Goreng is happy to find that he is now on floor 6. Someone on the other bed is Miharu, and they come at him with a knife. But it's all a dream. Goreng's new cellmate is Baharat, whose item of choice was a rope. He asks the people on level 5 for help because he is very enthusiastic and believes he can make it all the way to the top from there. The couple above him make fun of him before letting him grab the rope. But, as soon as Baharat starts to climb, one of the prisoners takes off her pants and poops on his face. Baharat releases the rope and falls because he is shocked and angry. Goreng holds him just in time, but the rope gets lost in the hole. They have to eat while listening to the prisoners on level 5 get wild when the platform comes. Trimagasi and Imogiri's hallucinations keep coming back as time goes on. Trimagasi tells Goreng that he's doing great because he only has 1 month left, but Imogiri tells him that change takes time to occur. This makes Goreng want to make a plan, so he asks Baharat for support. They should use any weapon they can find to jump off the platform, and the food should be shared out so that everyone can eat. At floor 202, Goreng did the math. Based on how long it takes the platform to move, he thinks there are about 250 levels, which should be possible. They agree to work together and break a bed in order to use the metal pieces as weapons. They get on the platform together and go to level 7. There, Goreng tells them they shouldn't let the prisoners grab anything. Everyone here ate yesterday and will eat again tomorrow, so they shouldn't start giving out food until level 50. That's when the trouble starts. Bharat isn't sure what to do, because these prisoners are friends who helped him get to the top a few weeks ago. But when the old man gets angry, Bharat understands Goreng's point and starts helping him keep everyone away. The two keep going down while telling people not to touch the food. After going through a few more floors, Bharat is shocked to see Brambang, an old wise man that he looks up to. Brambang agrees with what the boys are trying to do, but he wants them to know that the administration doesn't care if they succeed, but the workers on level Karo might, so that's why they need a sign. The panna cotta is what Bharat and Goreng choose because it's a fancy dish that will make a big impression if it gets to the top untouched. As they keep going down, their task continues. They have to keep the panna cotta safe and scare people away with intimidation. When Bharat and Goreng reach level 50, they start giving out food rations, and people are very thankful. On level 97, they find an old man who is sick and a boy who has mental problems. The boy tells Goreng and the others not to bother giving the old man soup because he'll kill the man later and eat him. In the next level, there is only a dead body. Goreng thinks this is where Miharu woke up. There are no people on this platform, so it doesn't end here. This means that Goreng's math was off, and there are more than 250 floors. After going down one floor, they see two men attacking Miharu. When Goreng and Bharat try to protect the girl, things get complicated for them because one of them has a sword and the other is big and strong. In the end, Bharat gets rid of his guy and then helps Goreng kill the big guy. But Miharu is already dead, so it's too late for them. Bharat pulls Goreng back onto the platform before it leaves them behind when he wants to grieve her. They keep going down and giving food to the convicts they see, even though many of the floors only have dead bodies on them. The platform finally stops at level 333, which looks like it's the last one. In the beginning, they believe it is empty, but someone is hiding under the bed. It's Molly, the missing child. The platform starts going down again as soon as Bharat and Goreng leave it to talk to the kid. Bharat refuses to throw the panna cotta into the hole when Goreng asks him to. To their surprise, the room doesn't get hot or cold enough to punish them. Bharata hesitates for a long time before giving Molly the panna cotta. That floor is where the three of them stay, and Goreng keeps seeing Trimagasi, Imogweri, and now Miharu. Suddenly, Bharat agrees with the ghosts and tells Goreng that the girl is the message. When Goreng wakes up, he finds that Bharat has died from his wounds. When the platform comes back the next time, Goreng takes Molly with him. They are lowered to the floor Sero, which is dark and empty. It looks like Trimagasi tells Goreng to leave the platform because he's not part of the message. They watch the platform go up with Molly, hoping that she will show the abusers above the truth of the situation. Subscribe. For more videos like this, turn on the notification and leave a like to help the channel out. Thanks for watching.